Hey everyone, I was tagged in a book tag, which is exciting because I get to do an actual book tag. This is really fun and I need to do these more and I got to say this tag is really interesting. Without and this tag is really fun. So, without further come on. Let's read the social media book tag. So the first social media website is Twitter, which is what is your favorite short book under 200 pages? That would be Singularity by William Sleater. It's about two boys they find out that a long distant relative, their uncle, has passed away, and that their family has inherited the keys to his ranch. The two brothers go to the farm, and everything looks pretty normal, except for a shed that sits in one corner of the property. The shed itself has some irregular occurrences that happen inside of it, namely, that time inside the shed goes faster than time outside the shed. The interesting thing about this book is that my copy is marketed as science fiction, while I have another copy marketed as young adult fiction. So it just goes to show that maybe with a little bit of time in publishing history and a little bit of marketing branding, some stories seem to swap where they exist on bookstore shelves. Facebook, a book that everyone pressured you to read. Let's get one thing straight. Nobody pressures me to read books. I read the books that I want to read when I want to read them. Also, I'm not on Facebook that much, and I like my own personal reading journey. Tumblr, a book you read before it was cool. If I had to choose a book, that would be Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. The book already had a lot of excitement and buzz going for it, but the second it was released, I read the book. And so it wasn't exactly a book that nobody had heard about or read before. But it's interesting to see now that with additional printings, it is sort of more a young adult book, or it's being marketed as a young adult book. And many people on BookTube have now begun to read, and the buzz that it's got on BookTube has just been amazing and fun. I kind of wish I could have discovered it at the same time because of all the fun that people are having. But it was also an enjoyable read at the time that I read it, and I hope that everyone else enjoys it too. MySpace, a book you liked when you were younger, but would probably not like now. Life of Pi by Yann Martel stands out to me, mostly because of the movie. I didn't like the movie that much, and as a result, I might find it hard to read the book again because the visuals and cadences from the movie would, find their way into my imagination as I'm reading the book, and that's a book I want to read and have it still be the way I remember it being. I totally want to preserve that, so I might avoid reading Life of Pi now. I did not like the movie. I'm sorry, guys. Did not like. Instagram, a book that has the most beautiful cover in existence, which is asking a lot. The most beautiful cover in existence. I spent a lot of time looking through books and art trying to be like, which is the most beautiful cover? I did not find one. I cannot pass that kind of judgment. But I did manage to pick Railsea by China Mieville. I think that this edition is quite beautiful. I just think the graphic and Photoshop work is really neatly done. I love it. It really sets the environment and the mood and the world of Railsea. And I love that these rail ties and these metal girders are bent into the title. I think it's really cool. What sucks though is that other editions I've seen will use this part of the bottom track bit, but they'll take out all this gorgeous work up here. They'll take out the debris, they'll just use the railroads, they'll take out the train, and they put some other graphic-y stuff up here, which does not look as good. I know they're trying to make it look more adulty and more formal, but this thing is so gorgeous that this, in my mind, is just the ultimate version of this book. It's a good book, too. YouTube, a book that you wish was made into a movie. Well, I would love to say Otherland. I want to make Otherland into a movie one day. So back off. So if there's any post-production supervisor people out there who, when this movie gets into production, because the rights have been bought and the guy is writing a script right now, when that ball gets rolling, if somebody could let me know who to contact, I will do anything to help this movie get made. Anyway, getting back to the real question, if I had to see something made into a movie, I would go with Mistborn. I think these would make awesome movies because they're just so good, and the action is good, and it's everything I love in books, and it's everything I love in movies. The visuals that I see in my head when I read this book were so wondrous that I just would love to see that turned into reality, to see that on a screen, to have more people read, share, and watch this experience, because it's just good. Goodreads, a book that you would recommend to anyone. This might not be a book I recommend to everybody, but it's one I think a lot of people would enjoy. That's The Coyote Kings, The Space Age Bachelor Pad by Minister Faust. It takes place in Edmonton, Alberta, and living so close to it, it's really weird to read this and actually have it describe places that I know and have been. If you liked Ready Player One, I think you would love this book. But if I really had to have a book that anybody could read, I'm thinking some other book, maybe.